What's going on, YouTube? And today I want to bring a story to you that I found interesting and something that I've noticed been going on throughout the years. And I've heard that this is something that is very prevalent in Chicago. And I'm going to actually do some investigating on this because this is a new story. It is called I Pay My Bills. Chicago woman loses home despite paying property taxes over time for years. On, my bad, people, despite paying property taxes on time for over a decade. Sold for delinquent taxes. How did this happen? Now, I see it's got 72 comments, so I'm going to look into some of them comments as well and see what's going on in them comments. But we just going to skim through the story a little bit, read the headlines, read some of the bulletin points, and discuss it a little bit. So it says she bought her house in 2012 and been paying on time since 2012. And it says she's recently received a letter from the Cook County Circuit Court stating her home was sold for delinquent taxes and she may owe 3 years of back rent to the buyer. Now, this came out today. So today, as of January 29th, 2025, Wednesday. So this story is new. Um, and let's see, where did we leave off at? So, and she says she has proof, despite having proof of consistent payments since 2012. She received the letter. So to owe somebody 3 years in back rent, right, is to not know that your house was sold for 3 years. So that's telling me that the state put her house up on the auction, sold it 3 years ago, and didn't inform her until now. If that don't, if that's not, if something shady ain't going on there, I don't know what shady is then, because that sounds so crazy to me. She say she never been late on her taxes, and it says she had a problem that she thought she cleared up in 2019. So this all started in 2019. So for it to be 3 years at back rent from today, it's 2025. So let's just say they count 2024 and back. So that means she lost her house in 2021. Technically, technically speaking, she lost the house in 2021, 2022, like in that midpoint. So she's been paying her bills and still paying property taxes on this property that isn't even hers technically for 3 years. And now they saying not only has she been paying her bills and still been paying her property tax on time, even with the increase that they putting on Chicago people, now she got to fight in court to resolve 3 years of back rent. Come on now, people. That sounds crazy. Come on now. So this just goes into how could a home that wasn't delinquent be sold for taxes? Now, it says here, you pay your, this is telling you when you pay your property taxes is twice a year, first date in March, and then it's like the second installment is midsummer. And if that remains unpaid, the property can be sold at an annual tax sale. However, homeowners typically receive a warning via certified mail. So that means she didn't even get the letter in the mail because if if this was a problem that she fixed, right? That means she got the letter. She went back down there with her paperwork to prove what she had to prove. And then they still went on ahead and put it up for sale and didn't send her a letter saying that it was up for sale. So even if there was still a miscommunication there, they still should have sold her. I mean, sent her another letter saying that her house was being sold. So her case is different. She was never late in 2019. A letter from the treasurer's office explained her property ID number, her PIN, a unique 14-digit code used for tax purposes, had been swapped with McElroy's next door neighbor. So her next door neighbor and her, somehow their pins magically swapped. So she paid their property taxes essentially. But she got a letter confirming that it paid, and it was corrected. And there was no grounds to proceed with sale. And they told her, don't worry about it. They told this lady, don't worry about it. You good. We see that you paid. But then it says that while the letter from 2019 flagged the pin swap and recommended an internal correction, the correction was never made, ultimately leading to her home being sold at a tax auction. That's crazy. So somebody in the office got this paperwork, got this notice, and ignored it. Is that what they telling me? Somebody saw this and was like, whatever. Is that what? That's what they telling me. That's what they saying. They saying that they got the order to fix this problem, and they said whatever. That don't sound right to me. Cause if somebody house on the line, I think this job would be a little bit taken more seriously than this. Than they saying that it was supposed to be corrected and it wasn't. That's crazy. So it says that assessor's office since corrected the PIN error and confirmed McElroy's taxes paid. However, McElroy had to hire a lawyer to fight for her home, a spokesperson told CBS News. So she had to fight. She got to get a lawyer to fight for her home back, and that's the end of the story. Cause this is ongoing. She's still trying to figure it out. So what did it say? It seems by this story that she found out about the tax auction 3 years after the fact. This is based on them telling she owed 3 years in back rent, and she had no communication with her new landlord. And see, that's what they saying. These people in the government in Chicago got they call leads. Anything with sales, and they tell their buddies in real estate, because a lot of these people who retire out of the politics in Chicago get into real estate development, because they whole term while they in here, they mapping out their retirement. So when they get out of here, they got properties they probably had developed in a wife name, in a son's name, or in a business partner that is highly trusted. You know what I mean? And they come out, and this is how they get all this money. I mean, you can't. We sold our streets. Mayor Daley sold our streets for $99 million. They made that back tenfold. They said the Abu Dhabi group. They done made their money back 10, 12, 20 times. I think they only paid $99 million. Ain't no telling how much Daley got out of that, but he made that big deal before he got up out of here. See, look, I think there is more to this story, and it seems to happen a lot in Chicago. Has anyone tried connecting the dots? Sound like somebody in the taxation office, may have been pocketing a lot of money over the years, and that's exactly what I'm saying here. I've been hearing this a lot since I be involved in politics. I do pay attention to news, and this is one thing that I've noticed. There's always some story coming out about this. This isn't a one-off. This happens very often, and it seems that nobody's being held accountable. Not the tax assessor office, not the mayor, not the nobody. Nobody is being held accountable for this. Not the AG, not the district attorneys, because all this stuff flows through the legal system. So a lot of this stuff is getting looked at by the state's attorney and stuff, because this is property. This is taxes. This is money. So whatever anything is going with one hand of the government is going on with the other. So it's no way that the legal system is blind to this happening in Chicago. So I think this is something I want to try and follow up on and see what I could find about this, see how many stories I could find, and see if I could find any common denominators, because this is wrong, and this isn't just her. This is something that I just seen another story about this not too long ago, and they raised the man property taxes so high or something like that. I think they ended up raising his property taxes to like he owed like $300,000 or some weird number like that, and it was out in the suburbs. So I think I might look into this and see what I could find. But yeah, I just wanted to point this out because this is something that's going on rampant in Chicago, and people. I don't know if people are just not realizing it or just waking up to it or what, but this is something that needs to be discussed, and we need to figure out who is doing this and who is profiting the most money from these deals. And yeah, y'all be safe out there. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you on the next time. I'm out of here. Peace.